Welcome to the next Faithful Step, a podcast about faith, resilience, and the quiet miracles that guide us when we least expect them. I'm your host, Kate Bless, and today I want to tell you a story about a moment in my life that changed everything. A moment that reminded me that alignment is sometimes found in the most ordinary places. For episode 4, we are going to talk about the miracle behind my first school space. When you build a dream from scratch in a foreign country, especially in Japan, every step feels impossible at first. And when I finally gathered the courage to move my first English school out of my tiny home and into a real space, a real classroom, I had no idea what storm I was about to face. I searched everywhere. Every rent was too high. Every deposit was too heavy. And every contract felt like a mountain I could not climb. If you know the system in Japan, you know that renting a commercial space is not for the faint of heart. Deposits, key money, guarantors, sometimes you need 6 months worth before you can even breathe. And I was just a small, hopeful entrepreneur, not even close, with no business background. And I only have a dream, which is much bigger than my bank account. But I kept searching. Day after day, street after street, door after door, until I found it. A 2-story building with big windows, and it was like light pouring in like a blessing. Like I found it. But I had no idea that the real miracle hadn't even started yet. So when the day came for the real estate agent to visit my home so we could finalize the details, I prepared everything. Not fancy things, of course, some documents. I prepared just simple things. And I remember I cleaned the house that time. I scrubbed the floors, make it shiny. I cleaned and washed the garage like I always did because I'm allergic to dust. It triggers my allergies. What I didn't know was that the man arriving that day was not a typical agent. He was the CEO of the entire real estate company. You heard it right. Yes, the CEO himself, a man who owned the building. I was praying to rent, hoping to rent. So he stepped in to my home, my little humble home, looked around quietly, looked the clean garage, the shiny floor, how orderly I arranged everything. And then he looked at me. He said, something I will never forget. But I won't spoil it here because the moment the things he said was an unexpected favor that poured out of his mouth, the blessings he extended that made no sense on paper, and that part of a bigger story that unfolded like a divine alignment. Let me just say this. By the time he left my house, I was standing there with my husband, speechless, holding the contract that should have been impossible to receive. He removed things that should never be removed. He waived the fees that no one waives in Japan. So he trusted me before I even learned to trust myself. And all of it began because I cleaned my garage. He was so impressed by it. And I just cleaned it because it's not for him, but for me. I'm allergic to dust. Because that's who I am. I love cleaning and I love things organized. And in that moment, I learned something life changing. Sometimes miracles don't arrive with trumpets. Sometimes they arrive in workloads, quietly observing your character when you think no one is watching. This story, the full unbelievable version, is inside my book. And if you want to feel what divine alignment looks like when it touches your life, you will find it there. But here today, I want to share the lesson behind it. Miracles often meet you halfway. You do your part faithfully, quietly, consistently, and God does the rest in ways you could never imagine. The world sees your work, even to the tiny details. But God sees your heart. Thank you for joining me today. If this story stirred something in your heart, the full chapter in my book, Fail First, Adapt, Align, will move you even more deeply. The book launches December 9th, and inside it, you'll find not only the story, but many more moments where God showed up in the most unexpected ways. Follow me on Facebook and YouTube at Kate Blessed, where our mission continues to grow. And remember, dreams do not start perfect. You do not need to have it all figured out. You just take the next faithful step. See you in the next episode. Stay aligned, stay grateful, stay faithful.